Happy New Year, friends. Today, we are going to go over chapter 14 of Alan Carr's Easy Way to Quit Emotional Eating book. This is our second book series we've done on our weight loss book club, and we're getting close to being done with this one, and but we're not done yet. And this chapter, Alan Carr really goes over how important it is to read to the very last page of the book, and to really understand and to get the release from and relief from emotional eating and the freedom to not emotional eat anymore, which is pretty exciting. So I'm looking forward. I'm not ahead. I read today's chapter. Actually, I listened to it 2 times on Audible. Coming home from church today. It's a very, very, very short chapter, but one that the biggest takeaway I have from it was to encourage us to not be discouraged. And if you are like me in this process of the journey going, oh my gosh, I've been an emotional eater for so long, it's hard to imagine that I could truly be free from emotional eating. He said that's okay. You're not done with the book yet, and every chapter is important. He also says, for those of you that already are like, wow, you're starting to make that shift, and you feel like you've already conquered it, that all the chapters you read so far did the trick. Don't stop reading. You want to make it clear to the very end, because if right now you are pumped with lots of great willpower and enthusiasm, but you haven't made it to the very end of the book yet, it's possible that later your enthusiasm's going to wane and you're going to lose that willpower. So he promises, and we're getting so close to the end, you guys. There's, let's see, 19. We just finished chapter 14, and there is only 20 chapters. So there still are 6 more chapters. So the biggest takeaway I thought from chapter 14 is don't stop reading. You want to keep going to the end. So I found that interesting. If you've been reading the book as well, and if you have any thoughts about chapter 14, please put it in the comments, because this is a book club and I am live. So I'll be reading your comments live here. And if you've had any wins this week, if you read the chapters or not, if you have had any wins this week, let us know that too, so we can celebrate you and celebrate those wins. I am going to tell you, because I'm reading this book right along with you. Like I said, I'm not ahead. I just finished reading chapter 14 today, which did not take long. It's one of the shortest chapters, I think, in this book. So it's a pretty quick read, but or a quick listen if you're listening to it on Audible. But thinking about the journey so far, thinking through all 14 chapters and having been an emotional eater my entire life, I have had some takeaways, and it has helped me to make some changes, simple changes. And one of the simple changes is, the favorite food for our body is food that is nutritionally dense. It's what our body craves. Our body craves nutrition for energy and to build new cells, because you have cells constantly dying on your body, and you're constantly making new fresh cells, so that you have that energy to create new healthy cells. And anyway, so your body craves nutrition for energy. And the most nutritious foods are your body's favorite foods, because it's the most helpful to your body. And I really think about that now before I eat. And that has been helpful for me to think, is what am I going to eat that my body would crave the most, because it's going to fuel my body to give me healthy energy to be able to do more things and to live longer and everything. And I have never been a really great cook. I love to go out to eat, um, but I'm not a great cook, which has made me fall into a lot of processed foods, because processed foods are faster to make, um, and I just was never someone who truly enjoyed cooking. But this year, I've chosen my power word for the year. And I want to thank everybody. I talked about that. I do a Mounjaro Monday live on Mondays. I have type 2 diabetes, and I take Mounjaro, and I've been taking Mounjaro for now over a year. I started January 10th of 2024. And today is what, January 12th? So yeah, so it's been a year and 2 days. It's my year anniversary for being on Mounjaro. And I can't remember where I was going with this. I don't know. If you have any questions, go ahead and put it in here. But on power words last Monday. Hi, Jeff.
Hi.
Last Monday, I talked about choosing a power word instead of a New Year's resolution, where you just concentrate on one powerful word, and that power word that you choose all year long, you try to incorporate that word into your life. And 2 years ago, my power word was grace, and I wanted to give myself grace. So I'm not beating myself up all the time. I wanted to give other people grace and be kind and more forgiving.
Should really work on that.
And we picked up a van that we had converted into an RV in 2023, when grace was my power word, and we like to name our vehicles, and we named our van Grace, because we want to travel in God's grace. And that was my first year being very successful all year long. I did, on New Year's Eve, I knew I had completed my my resolution of what I wanted to do all year, because that resolution was to have more grace, to give more grace to others and to myself. And I really did it. It was the first time in my entire life I actually completed a New Year's resolution. Well, then in 2024, when I started Mounjaro on January 10th, in 2024, I chose two power words. I chose health and travel, because I wanted to travel in our new van RV, and I also wanted to have better health. And when I went to my doctor, my BMI was really high, and with the type 2 diabetes, I was in the I hate those I hate those nasty words. It's like,
obese?
yeah, it's like deathly obese, morbidly obese. So, deathly obese, like so fat you're going to die earlier because you're just so big. And so I was in that category. And so I knew I needed to get my health under control. And I will say, Mounjaro really helped me a lot. And I think it helps a lot of people who happen to be emotional eaters, because it works on that part of your brain. It lets you know, it quiets the food noise. It quiets when Alan Carr talks about there's a little monster and a big monster. It quiets the little monster. So the little monster isn't constantly going, I'm hungry,
What
feed
will I
me,
eat
feed me,
next?
feed me. What am I going to eat next? And it wants food that is not healthy. uh, you know, things that are high in fat and sugar and salt. And, going, yeah, feed me, feed me, feed me. And as soon as you feed it a little something, then an hour later, it wants more. And you're just constantly craving food. And Mounjaro quiets that little monster without even reading the book. It does help quiet the little monster. But what I discovered after being on Mounjaro for almost a year, it covers the dailiness of the constant, but it doesn't cover when I have extreme emotions. And extreme emotions could be happy emotions, like going to parties and celebrating birthdays and anniversaries and going on vacation and walking downtown Saugatuck and seeing a delicious fudge store. All of that stuff. Mounjaro doesn't calm that down for me. If I have extreme emotions that are happy emotions, I would still go to food. Um, and if I had the opposite emotions, we had Jeff is 1 year right now, cancer free. Yay. January 3rd of 2024, Jeff had bladder cancer surgery, and that was extreme stress. It was extreme stress for him, but it was also extreme stress for me because I have been married to Jeff. It'll be 35 years this March. And I love him so much. I can't imagine living life without him. It just breaks my heart to think that I would be living without him. And that caused a lot of stress. That's
Because of all the
not
jokes,
positive
right?
stress. Yeah. Because you're so funny. Who's going to make me laugh like you? Oh my gosh. And he knows that that's what made me fall in love with him is, he's cute, but it's his humor. He just makes me laugh more than any other guy that I'd ever been around. And I knew he was the one for me. But anyway, so there was stress and stress eating. I would still, under stress, I could see myself standing in front of the refrigerator, just looking in there, thinking maybe if there's I could eat something and it'll make me feel better. And that's crazy that because I'm not truly hungry at all, and that's just feeding my fat instead of fueling my body. So anyway, so even with Mounjaro, which is still very helpful, was not helpful enough for me because I've been such an extreme emotional eater in all of the emotions. So I'm hopeful that this book, when I read the last chapter, by the time I read the last chapter, that it'll make that final difference. We'll see. I'll always be honest with you guys. But I will tell you the biggest takeaways for me where it makes a difference if it cures my emotional eating or not. It's made me self-aware when I'm eating. Is what I'm putting into my body going to fuel my body the best? Am I taking in the best amount of nutrients? And is this, because I want to feed my body its favorite foods, as Alan Carr would say, its favorite foods, which are fruits and vegetables and nuts and things that are healthy versus Cheetos and things that there's really hardly, and there's no nutrition in it. It's just a bunch of salt and flavors, but that they're so you have something that you want to
Yeah.
share, and you're sitting here so patiently.
You're going to skip me?
No,
I got to raise my hand.
I am not.
Call on me.
I am not going to skip you. I'm going to call on you. Yes, Jeff. What's your thoughts?
Well, now I don't want to. No. Okay. 2 nights ago, we went to a grocery store, and I don't remember why we went, but I do remember that you owed me something, and I wanted to have a fast break bar, those Reese's fast break bars. Peanut
Oh,
butter and
I
chocolate.
know what I owed him. He had just finished working for a week on editing a video for Anchor
An
Woman's
hour-long
RV.
video.
An
Yes.
hour. Yeah. And so he,
I kind of wasn't interested in having a reward for getting done with that. And I think you said, if you get done with this, we'll go have, did you say go to the grocery store and get a fast break bar? Or was that, did I just put that in my head?
you put that in your head.
Okay.
I did not
You
say
you
that.
didn't tempt me with
Actually,
a,
I got a creamy for Christmas and a Ninja Creamy. And so I'm looking for some things that I can make, some
That-
high protein
right.
ice creams that would be nutritious and feed my body and also make my taste buds sing at the same time. And
I think
so,
you got it, Gina.
yeah.
That
Oh
stuff
my gosh.
today was very, very good and
But very good
healthy.
and healthy, which is
Okay.
like crazy. But anyway,
But okay, so 2 nights ago, we went to the grocery store and I saw a fast break bar there and I wanted it. And I thought, well, I stopped, paused a little bit in my head and said, do I really want this? And I said, yeah. Okay. So we bought it and I ate it. And I remember feeling afterwards, it was good. But it was more just okay than really extra good. And I thought, sometimes when I have to go really quickly for breakfast and don't have time to stop, I'll just get like a spoonful of peanut butter,
mm-hmm.
not heaping, but a nice big tablespoon of peanut butter, and just lick it right off the spoon.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fast. It's not real bad for you. I mean, yeah, it has fat, but
There's a little bit of sugar in it, but it's not that bad.
Yeah, it's not that bad
compared to
and
other things.
I thought,
Compared to a fast break candy bar, which is his favorite candy bar of all candy bars.
What told me that I thought this in my head right after I finished eating the fast break bar, and your mind, according to Alan Carr, says, now that you got one done, you feel you need another one. And I thought, you know what? Wait, I'm going to tell you something profound, Gina. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Here we go. Ready?
Yes.
I think what I'm going to remember is nothing satisfies like satisfaction.
Oh,
In other words, like the foods that really do satisfy you, they will give you satisfaction. And the foods that don't really satisfy you, can eat them and you will never be satisfied. So that fast break bar, I could have got another one, bought it, ate it. I need another one. Need another one like that. But you know what? What stopped me, other than leaving the grocery store, was that I thought, if I had just eaten or like got one spoonful of peanut butter and licked it off, that would have scratched that itch for the taste of peanut butter, and it wouldn't have been bad for me, and I wouldn't have this
guilt afterwards.
When people are addicted and they get a hit and then afterwards they go through withdrawal.
I
wouldn't have the Reese's fast break withdrawal afterwards where I immediately want another one. But I knew that if I just had a little bit of peanut butter to lick on a spoon, I would have felt satisfied afterwards. So that was 2 nights ago.
Mm-hmm.
I ate the Reese's fast break bar. Last night we had to go to Target. We were, I don't know, buying you a foam board for your vision board or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we went, and a couple of creamy pints so that you can
So
you can use
some refills, plastic refills for the creamy machine.
Well, I don't know
if you had it at Target.
I don't know if you know this, but right by the cash registers, that's where they put all of those candy bars that they know someone's going to be hearing in their head, get one, get one. And I looked at it and said, I pictured in my mind the peanut butter on a spoon. And I thought, that will satisfy me. It'll scratch that itch. And I won't have a withdrawal of, I didn't get enough peanut butter on my spoon.
Mm-hmm.
And then right after that, I remembered, and we talked about this green bean thing. Remember you talked about that?
That if you hold on a previous, if this is your first time showing up to our weight loss book club, we do these live every Sunday afternoon, and or 9:00 at night if you're in the UK in the evening. And I do have some UK listeners. I love you guys. But anyway,
green
beans. So I think that might have been last week or the week before,
but
we save all of these on the playlist so you can catch up with all the other chapters and watch on replay. But if you are in your pantry and it's not dinner time and mealtime, and you find yourself in the pantry looking like, oh, what sounds good to eat? Foraging. If you open up a can of green beans and you can eat a green bean and go, oh, this is good, and want to eat more, then you're truly hungry.
I
But if
like
you
green
look at that
beans.
green bean and go, nah, and the can of green beans and go, nah, I'm not interested in green beans, then you're emotionally eating. You're either eating because you're bored, you're tired, you're procrastinating. That's a big one for me. You're procrastinating, you're happy, sad, mad, stressed, whatever, but you're really not in that pantry because you're truly physically hungry. It was the green bean test.
Right, the green bean test. So right after I thought of the peanut butter on a spoon, I pictured in my mind the green beans. And I like green beans. In fact, I was thinking how satisfying it would be just to have some green beans. And that made me stop and not pick up the Reese's Fast Break bar. And I think it's making the connection, at least it's going to be for me in my mind, that what I'm going to connect to the things that aren't good in my favorite foods, like the Fast Break bar, I'm going to mentally make the connection in my head to that. Oh, yeah, that's the withdrawal one. That's the one where you feel bad afterwards. That's you know the one you eat and then afterwards you don't love yourself anymore. I mean, and then try to make the shift. That'll be the reminder for me to shift in my head to either the peanut butter on a spoon or getting the green bean, and I like green beans.
Yeah,
And
actually, it's really, we don't prepare these, by the way. You are really getting an authentic show. We and it really is our thoughts, just like we just walked into a library in a special room with a bunch of people to do a book club and chat about a chapter in a book. So I didn't know that Jeff was going to talk about these, but it's very interesting for a couple of reasons. Number one, Jeff doesn't take Mounjaro. He doesn't have type 2 diabetes, and he hasn't battled obesity his whole life, but he has gained a lot of weight after he turned 50. But I've been battling obesity my entire adult life, not kid life, but adult life. So anyway, he doesn't take medication, but he is reading Alan Carr's Easy Way to Quit Emotional Eating. So you're going to hear from someone who's on Mounjaro and someone who's not on Mounjaro or a GLP-1. And Jeff has always been a junk food junkie, and he used to be, before he was 50, he could eat a dozen candy bars and not weigh an ounce more the next day. He could eat an entire half gallon of ice cream and a big family size, party size bag of
now,
chips.
wait, let me
And the
interrupt
next
you though.
day, he'd still be thin
About the
until he
chips
turned
though,
50.
that's interesting. You should bring that up because we also walked by the aisle of chips. And you
Yeah.
know what? That was not hard for me to walk past because already in my mind, I've already connected to that feeling after eating too many chips, that burning kind of greasy feeling in your
Yeah.
stomach, and just walking past it, that
And the too
oh, you know what?
saltiness for
That's
me
the
too.
one that makes me feel like crap.
Yeah. Make me feel so bloated the next day, I can
It's
barely get my
it's a
shoes on.
burning kind of feeling
Yeah.
like I got, heartburn or something, and kind of a greasy going down my throat, and just imagining the connection between those two things is going to be, I think, the key to keeping that up. That was easy. It was the other one that was hard for me last night.
Yeah. Here's how I handled both nights. Being next to Jeff. When he went to, what store was it? It was
Winco.
Winco. It was Winco where you got the your favorite candy bar. So when Jeff was picking his candy
By the
bar,
way, perfectly nice store. We liked it.
yeah, and he said, "Do you want one, Gina?" And I said, "Nope," which is amazing because usually I'm on a seafood diet. So if I see food, I want to eat it, and especially if I see Jeff eating something, it makes me want to eat it. And but I looked at it and I said, nope, I'm going to make some healthy ice creams that are higher in protein with my creamy. And so
Yeah.
yeah, and so I'm like, why would I want to? And then when I'm eating something healthy, why am I? And that's also crazy satisfying. And then I'm going to go for that. I'm not going to have a
And
fast break bar.
Nothing satisfies like satisfaction.
There you go. Nothing satisfies like satisfied. I'm so proud of you. So Jeff's actually made some real breakthroughs this week. That is great. But I didn't fall for
By
the
the way, I'm
candy bar.
sorry that I offered you half, Gina. But
It's
you know
okay.
what? Usually, what happens in the past, we would get one, and I think, oh, great. And I don't offer for her to get one. And then I start eating it, and she wants half of it.
Yeah. Oh, I have. I'm like, if you can just give me the tail end, just give me like this much because
Anyway,
I can smell it. And so, like in the car on the ride home, I could smell his
yeah.
chocolate and peanut
So
butter.
I think that's going
Uh,
to end up being good for you too, Gina, because I'm making that connection and I'm going to remember it on purpose every time we go past those, the feeling that it gives me afterwards so that I make that mental connection.
well, there you go. That's great, Jeff. And so anyway, um, back to the story I was telling.
Oh, sorry.
No, 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 no. It's okay because I want you to stay here for it anyway. So I said what my power words were for the last 2 years. It was health and travel last year, and I really worked on it. So in a calendar year, my A1C was over 7, and by the end of the year, it was 5.6, and which is in the healthy range, not diabetic anymore. Though it's controlled diabetes is what it is, but still, I'm not in the diabetes range right now. While I'm taking my Mounjaro, I am in the healthy blood sugar range, which is amazing to me. So that was great. I had stage 1 fatty liver disease at the beginning of 2024. And by August or September, I can't remember, but I did put a video about it in my Mounjaro weeks because I've done 52 videos, one each week that I did Mounjaro. And during one of those in August or September, I went to the doctor and had my liver ultrasounded. And sure enough, my non-alcoholic fatty liver disease disappeared. I no longer have it. It's gone. It's not like it's in remission. It has disappeared. The fat has left my liver. And so that's cured. So that gave me better health in 2024. And I lost 36 pounds in 2024, which also was really good. And losing that 36-pound, I'm still obese, but I'm not morbidly obese anymore. Yay! So I got to jump a category, so that's at least nice. Even though I think the BMI is a little too tough, but I don't know. That's conversation for a different day. But at least I'm getting into a healthier zone, which is nice. My knees don't hurt anymore. I can walk up and down stairs. I've been exercising more, and we couldn't because Jeff had to do after his bladder cancer surgery. He had to do immunotherapy for 6 weeks, and then and he was still working. Bless his heart. But he
Not on
retired.
those days.
Not on those days though. Yeah, he had to take a lot of days off during a lot of sick days, a lot of sick time. But July 1st, he retired, and we went on our first vacation. We did a little weekend in Vegas with my family, and to celebrate Jeff's retirement and my parents' 40th wedding anniversary. 45th. How many years have they been married? I don't know. It was a big one. I remember it was 40 or 45. I don't know. It was a big one. So we celebrated their wedding
If you know,
anniversary.
put it in the
Yeah,
comments.
yeah, Jan and Ed, put it in the comments. How many years has it been? But anyway, so that was our first part of travel. So it was July, 7 months in before I hit the travel part, and I also had a hysterectomy in May, which slowed us down too. But I'm all healed from that, and life is good. So this year, I've been trying to think of like, what's my power word going to be? And last Mounjaro Monday last week, I had it down to 6 different power words. And I'm like, it's going to be one of these 6, but I wasn't sure which one. And I asked if anyone could give me advice between the 6, which one they thought sounded the best for me. And the one I am choosing is explore. I want to explore. There's more traveling I want to do. So I want to explore the United States and Canada and in our van RV, now that we can finally truly travel, now that Jeff is retired and neither of us are needing surgeries right now. So I want to explore that way, but I also want to explore healthy foods that would be my body's favorite foods, and try some new kinds of foods,
I know where
some
this is
new
going.
fruits and new vegetables and new flavors and new cooking things. So like with my with the Ninja Creamy that I got for Christmas, which I do need to thank whoever, somebody in this Anchor Moments community, when I was probably about 3 or 4 months in, I had mentioned ice cream was my favorite, my favorite treat, and how it was weird being on Manjaro. I had the same container of strawberry ice cream in the freezer for months, and Jeff would pull it out each week and show how much ice cream was left. Uh, and I was like, it's so weird that it doesn't call me, because we would go through a half gallon of ice cream, wouldn't even last a week in our house, but and this wasn't even a gallon. It was one of those little kind of pint things.
If it's the kind I like,
Yeah.
it would go through.
Yeah, exactly. And so anyway, and Jeff never touched that one because he knew that one was mine, though he kept buying ice cream for himself and eating it and whatever. But that one container that was just mine, that he wasn't allowed to touch, it was mine. Um, uh, it last It lasted until December. I forgot about it. And I went in the freezer and noticed there was 2 bites left. And I was like, "Oh my gosh." And it had all kinds of snow on
Freezer
it,
burn.
freezer burn on it. And I had one of the 2 bites. I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is horrible." But I mean, it was frostbitten. I mean, it was just like, "Ah." And so the second bite I just threw in the trash can. But it was crazy. I had I don't know if it was a pint or a quart, but it wasn't very big, of Haagen-Dazs strawberry ice cream in my freezer a year, and I had to throw the last bite away. That's insane. But anyway, when I was sharing about my ice cream, someone said you should get a Ninja Creamy, and you can make healthy ice creams with it, high protein ice creams and different things with it. And so anyway, when my mom asked me what I wanted this year for Christmas, I said, "Hey, how about one of those Ninja Creamies?" And I'm having so much fun with it. I'll be doing some videos of some of the new recipes that I'm making. But if Nolan sees us, I don't see that he's on here, but he usually is on my Mounjaro Monday lives. I turned him on to Fairlife chocolate milk because it's higher in protein, and it's so rich and creamy. It's so delicious, and it's not bad for you. It's amazing. Well, you can put that in a container and make Ninja Creamy ice cream out of it. And so easy. One ingredient, pour it in, stick it in the freezer, and then blend it up. It's so good. So
Weren't you going to
anyway,
mention those things?
which things? Yes, yes. So first of all, I'm making high protein ice creams, and when we were at the store at Winco and Jeff was picking a candy bar, I was thinking, well, I don't want one of those. I want to make something with my Ninja Creamy. I'll have ice cream later, a high protein ice cream that'll fuel my body instead of be junky for me, and make me feel crappy afterwards. So I didn't. The candy bars didn't call me, which was really nice. And I'm having a blast coming up. I've even come up with a new recipe that I haven't seen on any of the videos that I've been watching. So there'll be a new video coming out soon of a specialty one that I'm doing. So anyway, so those will be coming out. And today I posted about 10 minutes before I went live a picture in my community tab of something that I've made for dinner, gosh, 3 times now, maybe. It's so good. Um, I've been roasting vegetables in the oven,
Oh,
and I've been putting fancy spices and fancy oils and vinegars on it. And it's so good. And so it's not even a recipe. So I don't have to read and go, oh, I don't have that ingredient. I go to the store because I'm missing these 2 ingredients or whatever. No, I'm just going, what vegetables do I have in the freezer and in the pantry? I'm pulling them out, chopping them up. And
These were really good, by the
oh
way.
my gosh. So this is coconut white balsamic vinegar. And this is, I can't even pronounce it, baklodi.
Oh my gosh. Bakludi,
Uh,
green chili pepper.
Infused olive oil. But I went to an olive oil store
In
in
Williams, Arizona.
Williams, Arizona, and they have,
Gateway to the Grand Canyon.
yeah. And I met the owner there, and he's lost over 100 pounds. And what he discovered was by using a lot of fancy flavored
Vinegar.
vinegars and oils and making roasting vegetables and things like that. It made vegetables taste so good. He started eating a whole bunch more vegetables and exercising, and he doesn't crave crappy food anymore. Now he just likes stuff that
So his
fuels his
favorite
body.
food.
His favorite food are things that are nutritious, but they're delicious
Exactly.
too. They're not boring. I mean, who wants to just eat a plain grilled chicken and plain broccoli with nothing on it? You can still have chicken and broccoli, but you can spice it up. And so I'm playing around with more of my I have a ton of Epicure spices.
By the way, I
And
think that they
but
have
playing with different olive oils and vinegars, and putting it on vegetables. And I just the picture, I just want to tell them, because I did promise them this. The picture that I put in the community post had I had some chopped sweet potatoes, a little bit of regular potato, not a lot, but I had those little baby potatoes, and I put just a few of those in there. I had sweet onion in chunks. I had bell peppers of different colors. I had a green zucchini. I had yellow zucchini. What else did I have in there? I don't know, stuff like that. And I just chopped them, stuck them in a bowl.
Mushrooms.
Mushrooms. Oh yeah, the mushrooms are really good in there.
White mushrooms?
It doesn't matter. Sometimes I use, sometimes I've done the baby bellas, and sometimes I've done white mushrooms too. I think I did baby bellas this week. But I so mushrooms in there, and without measuring, I just put a little bit of olive oil on, stirred, and I had Epicure's mango habanero spice, and that was a new spice that I had gotten in the mail. And so I put the mango habanero, sprinkled a little bit of that on there, and a little bit of the coconut flavored vinegar. This isn't balsamic.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's just no, because there's balsamic vinegar, and I have those too. Yeah. So you could use balsamic vinegar. You could use like whatever, and a vinegar or oil.
That was really good though.
Oh yeah, that coconut. Oh my gosh, it was just so delightful. And did you like it, Jeff?
I like green beans, but I love these vegetables. And that surprised me because yes, it was satisfying, because nothing satisfies like satisfaction.
There you go.
But also it was delicious.
There you go. Exactly. And nothing satisfies like satisfaction.
Yeah,
that's the big monster. We talked about that. Alan Carr talked about that two or three chapters ago, that you have a big monster and a little monster in you when you think about emotional eating. And the big monster tells you, you'll be so deprived if you don't eat at the birthday party and have birthday cake or whatever. And the little monster is the addiction of when you feed it one bite of a candy bar, then it wants another one an hour later, and then another one and another one. It can never be satisfied. It's constantly is the addiction piece, the physical addiction. And this is the psychological addiction of, oh no.
I think we need to get more ferocious looking monsters.
I know. He was like, you're not going to kill that big bear, are you? But anyway, so this year I'm going to be exploring new flavors and being able to to feel free while I'm exploring, that if I make something and it doesn't taste that great, I can tweak it, or not worry about it. But I don't have to follow a recipe letter by letter, that I can kind of, you do if you're baking a cake, because it's science that makes that cake rise. But
Cooking is an art. Baking is a science.
right. But regular cooking things, you can just kind of play around with it.
Right.
So I've been playing around with more fruits and vegetables. This week I bought a new type of kiwi. It's red kiwi. I've never had a red kiwi fruit before. And you know what? It was pretty delicious. I had 3 red kiwis last night for the first time. So I'm trying new fruits and vegetables and new things with oils and vinegars and things.
I tried a new fruit last night. It was called a banana.
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, I can make nice cream with bananas now too. I can mash a banana up and freeze it and then put it in my creamy, and I could have whipped banana, and they call that nice cream. So all kinds of fun things, all kinds of fun things. All right, I have some people who put some comments in. Yay. So let's read what your thoughts are of Alan Carr's book so far in anything chapters 0 through 14. And if you've had any wins this week, and if you have a power word this year, let me know what your power word is. Or if you're thinking about a power word, let me know what you're thinking of for this year. And first of all, in the house, Logan put this comment on even before we went live today. Manage your diabetes with confidence and lower your A1C with the Freestyle Libre. And he is right. I have worn a Freestyle Libre since I first got diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, and it really did help. It brought me down from I was a 10.2 when I first got diagnosed, and I did bring it down into the 6s. But then last year it started creeping back up again, and I was in the 7s. And then Mounjaro and exercising. This year I'm now 5.6, which is healthy now. And Logan, for you, I am going to put on, after I'm done, when we're done with people's comments and stuff for the discussion, I am going to put on my Freestyle Libre live, because it's time for me to put my new one on. I thought, well, how perfect. I'll just do it live in honor of Logan. Yeah, it goes on the back of my arm. So I'll just stick it right there. It'll take me all of 30 seconds. It's so fast. It'll be less than a minute for me to do it, but it's really quick and easy. If anyone else is wondering, what is that? And would it hurt going on? It doesn't. And Barb says, I love, and Barb is health at any cost. And I'm so glad Barb's in the house. Woo woo. And Barb says, I love my Dexcom, but the gist is correct. To use a CGM, continuous glucose monitor, to monitor what's going on with our blood sugars. Yep. And the Dexcom, or blood glucose. That's right. Blood glucose. And Dexcom is actually, it was known as the Cadillac of CGMs, but it's usually I don't know, things change. But in the past, it was way more expensive than the Freestyle Libre. So like, I wouldn't be able to get a prescription for that with type 2 diabetes. But my friends with type 1 used it. But things change too. So I don't know. A lot of them are starting to go on the open market now. They're trying to get it so anybody can buy one without a prescription even. So, and that might bring prices down, including the Dexcom. Yep, that's just me agreeing with Barb. Oh, I'm going live. And Happy New Year, Barb and Logan. And thanks, Barb. And let's see if we've got any wins here. Hey, we got Taz, the Bulldog's mom, in the house. Woo woo! Hey, Cindy, happy Sunday to you too. And Logan said, did you have fun with Jackson this past year of 2024? And what is your favorite restaurant to eat? Are you on week 53 of Mounjaro? Yes, I'm on week 53 of Mounjaro. And Jackson is my very first grandbaby. And oh my gosh, we had so much fun with him this year. And we did a lot of babysitting and stuff, and just love him to pieces. And thanks, Logan. And Pam's in the house. And Pam says, my win this week moved 3 out of 3 of my triplets back into their college living spaces this week. Oh my gosh, you're a mom of triplets. Wow. Wow. Congratulations, Mom. And oh my gosh, so she moved her triplets back into their college in New York City. So much easier for me being down 80 pounds. That's amazing, Pam. Yay. And she says, thank goodness for zepbound. Yeah, and zepbound and Mounjaro, exact same medication. They are tirzepatide. And that is so exciting. 80 pounds. That's amazing. And congratulations. 3, wow, to have triplets and all 3 college bound. That is awesome. And Logan says, so Gina, if you have the Freestyle Libre, what do you feel like?
She feels good to me.
I feel good. And I like knowing what my blood sugar is. I like that awareness. That really helps me.
And it's nice to know what it is over a continuous amount of time so that you can look and see what things are affecting it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what things you eat or all that
or
stuff.
not, right. And, you know, maybe if it's going a little high, maybe I need to go for a walk, or, you know, it's really helpful. Really, really helpful. Barb says, ask Christopher of the Downsized about the creamy. He makes an amazing protein dessert in his. Oh, okay, I will. I've just been having so much fun, Barb. It's been a blast, and I just took it out of the box a few days ago, but it's been so good and so neat. I'm making stuff that has like 40 grams of protein, but yet really tasty. Yep. She's saying, Pam, that's awesome. I love it when we congratulate each other. So Gina, if you were taking injections, how do you make your blood sugars better?
I don't know what that is.
You know, maybe he was trying to write Mounjaro. I've never needed, it might be a type of insulin. I've never needed insulin. With my type 2 diabetes, I've never needed insulin. I've only taken metformin, which is a pill that they usually give type 2 diabetics. As soon as you're diagnosed, almost every doctor will say, try metformin. And so I did that. And then the second medication I've ever taken is Mounjaro. And Mounjaro's been the game changer. It's been the very, very best one for me. Oh, okay. I don't do insulin injections, so I can't give you that advice, Logan. There are people with type 2 diabetes that do need insulin as well. My dad used to have to do insulin, but when he's on Mounjaro, he doesn't need insulin anymore. He said it's the best, and he's had type 2 diabetes over 20 years. But he doesn't have to do insulin injections anymore. So that must have been an insulin med. That's why I didn't know that word.
Sense.
How to make your blood sugars really good. Well, the Freestyle Libre doesn't affect your blood sugar. It just tells you what your blood sugar is. So it would warn you if your blood sugar is too high, you're going to need more insulin and you're going to need an injection. But if it's too low, then you're going to need to eat something because maybe you had too much insulin
and it gives you like a little graph so you can see it going up or going down. And there's like a green area that it's to try to keep it in the green.
They do say though that if you so if you're wearing your Libre and you're someone who needs insulin, if your blood sugar is too high and you need some insulin, that you should and you can see on your graph, oh, it's too high, you should still inject your finger get
Prick your finger.
prick your finger. I'm sorry, prick your finger, so you know the exact reading, and you can compare notes before you use your insulin.
That's the gold standard.
Yeah,
Pricking your finger.
yeah. I forgot to tell you that the Bound is not the same thing as Trulicity or Mounjaro. Yeah, and I'm not quite sure.
Zepbound?
Oh yeah, Zepbound is not the same thing as um, Zepbound is not the same as Trulicity, but Zepbound and Mounjaro is the exact same medication. It's tirzepatide. The reason it has two different names is for doctors to be able to prescribe. So if you have type 2 diabetes, they give you Mounjaro because Mounjaro is for type 2 diabetes. But then when they saw people with type 2 diabetes losing 50 pounds or more, then they were like, gee, maybe I could give it off label to my patients who battle obesity and aren't diabetic. And then Mounjaro was like, well, hey, Eli Lilly, who makes Mounjaro, was like, hey, let's do some studies of people who don't have type 2 diabetes and make sure that they're not going to have crazy low blood sugars, that it would be safe for them to take it. And so then they did some studies, and sure enough, people who didn't have type 2 diabetes, but who were battling obesity, lost a bunch of weight. They actually lose weight even faster generally than people who have type 2 diabetes on it. So so then the FDA approved it for obesity and said it's safe for people who don't have diabetes, who don't have type 2 diabetes, but battle obesity. It is safe for them to take Mounjaro, and then they gave it a different name, Zepbound. So that way doctors can prescribe it. So hopefully your health insurance will cover it. And all health insurances are different. And it's a mess in the United States with health insurance. But anyway, Zepbound and Mounjaro are both called tirzepatide, and they are the exact same thing. And I'm 100% sure
But
on
not
that.
Trulicity.
But not Trulicity. Trulicity is a GLP-1, but it's a different GLP-1. Yay! Hey, Deb. And Barb says Zepbound is the same as Mounjaro. They're both tirzepatide. Thank you. And she even knows what Trulicity is.
Okay,
it's
that's
dulaglutide. Yeah, which is different. It's not, but it's similar. That's a GLP-1, but it's a different GLP-1. And Barb says, offering a new book choice for the next book club. Salt, Sugar, Fat, How the Food Giants Hooked Us by Michael Moss. It is fantastic. Oh, thanks, Barb, because that's what I was going to ask you guys. I do want some more suggestions, and then I'll put up something in the community tab, and I'll let you guys vote, and we'll do a poll. So we've got to write that one. We've got to write that one down. Do you have a paper there?
I'll go.
We'll find it later. But salt, sugar, fat, how the food giants hooked us. That's the perfect one to do after Alan Carr's Easy Way to Quit Emotional Eating, because he really talks about how he's not putting blame and saying, it's your own fault, fatty, or whatever. He's not doing anything like that, but he's saying, you know what, you've been lied to, you've been hooked. The food giants, they try to make things addictive, and so they'll purposely put extra salt and extra sugar or extra fat to make it make you crave it more.
The main goal is to make money. A company for making money. So if they can addict somebody to their product, that's a good way to make a lot of money.
Exactly.
How the Food Giants Hooked Us?
Yeah, by Michael Moss. And then I'm still going to put your other book that you recommended to us the last time we did this, Barb, in the mix. Gosh, I can't remember the name of it, but I have it. I think it's in my anchor room. But it was another one. No, not the Galveston diet. It was something else. Oh, shoot, my mind's just going blank today. I didn't get enough sleep last night. We went to bed really late. What was it called? Darn it. Oh well, I'll let you know next week. because we could go maybe between those two books and see which one people want. And Cindy says, I challenge myself to make low-cal alternative to recipes, and it's been so much fun, isn't it? Yeah, and I've been having a blast making healthy ice cream versus just fatty, sugary ice cream. It's been so much fun. But yeah, if you can make a low-cal alternative, that's great. And Barb says, that's a great challenge. Monica on Friends says her favorite challenges are the ones against herself. Yeah, exactly. And I read something about that, Barb. I also am part of a Facebook group about Mounjaro, and I have the link to that in all my Mounjaro Monday videos to that particular Facebook group. It's run by a nurse practitioner, so I always know there's good stuff on there because it's very well monitored. And someone wrote on that however much weight she's lost, this particular person, she says she doesn't worry about how much weight other people are losing. The person that she's challenging is herself, and she just wants to do her own personal best. And she's going against her own personal best, to try to make improvements from where she's at. And I really liked that. Especially as someone who's more of a slow loser. That to
You're
me,
not a
I
loser.
know. To me, it's just a win that I was able to lose weight in a year without gaining the weight back. And in a whole calendar year, it wasn't like this. The scale, I go up and down 1 or 2 pounds, each day, but it's not the big, huge spike and then boom, drops and then back up again. Okay. And Pam says, I'd like my power word to be change. Oh, that's a really good one. I'd like to change things in my life that aren't making me happy. Yeah. And that's a power word too, because it's an action word, and it's an action word that you're going to take the action, and you're more likely to have wonderful changes when you're the one taking the action. That's fantastic. What were you going to say, Jeff?
It reminds me of the book by James Clear, the Habit book.
Oh, Atomic Habits.
Atomic Habits.
Yeah. Atomic Habits, which is my favorite book of all time.
Yeah.
I
really like it.
That's my very favorite, my very, very, very favorite. But change is a wonderful power word, Pam. You have to let me know each week how your power word is working and where you when you apply it successfully. And Barb says the book tells how food companies put people in MRI machines and feed them something and watch what parts of the brain light up and use that info to put more of that substance in our food to addict us. Holy crap. Yeah, I've never heard that they did that before. That is news to me.
But it makes sense.
It doesn't surprise me. I believe that probably is happening, but wow. That's crazy.
Reminds me of what they did with the tobacco industry when they were trying to make cigarettes more addictive in order to, sell more product.
Mm-hmm. I remember in the Atomic Habits book when they talked about there was a particular kind of bird that has that the mom has a dot on her beak.
Right.
And it signals to the kids.
The baby birds. The baby birds always peck at that dot, and that would
make the mom open their mouth and give them food.
Them.
Yeah. And so then they did a
exaggerated beaks with big red dots, and they were pecking like crazy.
Yeah. And it wasn't, and they thought, will these baby birds be faked out by this? Because it's not even an animal.
It's look like a real bird.
Yeah.
But it had a beak.
It had a beak. And it had just an extra big dot. Yeah. And they just went nuts seeing that. And they wanted more, and peck. And they said that that's what the food industry does. Like, even think when I was
fast break.
There you go. Or no, I was thinking about Doritos. When I was a kid, in the 70s, there was one flavor of Doritos, and it was called Doritos. That was it. One flavor of Doritos. And now, oh my gosh, then they, got like sour cream Doritos, whatever Doritos, but now there's extreme. They do the extreme flavor Doritos, and they even use extreme on the packaging and even brighter colors than the other colors. I mean, it's crazy. But it's like that baby bird, where the baby bird, or us like baby birds, oh, a regular Dorito. Oh, that's pretty good. I'm gonna have that. And then these extreme ones are like, you can't eat enough of it.
No wonder it's
crazy.
hard for me to skip the Reese's.
Oh yeah, and Reese's used to have one flavor. It was just the cup.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and now
you go down an aisle, everything's orange and yellow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, there's so many different kinds of Reese's, and the fast break is a Reese's
and the
thing.
cereal aisle.
Anyway,
Go ahead.
Yeah, used to be one kind of Cheerios, plain.
Cheerios.
They were circles. They had no sugar on it. It used to be you'd put these plain Cheerios in your bowl with milk, and then you had to sprinkle your own sugar on when you ate Cheerios. And now there's like a bazillion flavors of Cheerios too.
Wow, that's amazing.
But wow, an MRI machine. That's insane. Thank you, Barb. That was driving me nuts. That's the book. And I already own that one. So that one's still going to be on the list because at some point it's got to win because I already own it. And I want to read it when I read it with you guys. So that way I'm surprised with each chapter and it's new to me too. But anyway, Magic Pill. Yes. So it'll be between that one and the other one that you recommended. Hey, and Barb, and let me know in here too, which one you like better, the Magic Pill or this other one that you,
soft sugar.
Since you've read both, which is your favorite of the two? Wow, Cindy is down. Holy cow, 3.5 pounds this week. I'm so proud of you, Cindy. That is awesome. Good start to 2025. And Deb says, Jeff, let Gita get some sleep, please. I know. I did not. It's two nights in a row. Oh my gosh. Well, you bought those van things, and we didn't go to bed till 2 in the morning. I'm tired. I am tired. Oh my gosh.
Talked on the phone for an hour and a half.
I know, but it wasn't after midnight.
No.
Okay. And Cindy
it became after midnight.
Yeah, I know. Cindy says, I make my own granola, my own zucchini bread, my own Chipotle bowls. Love this group.
Wow, great.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, and making it from scratch. So you know what you're putting in that. And you're not putting a bunch of preservatives and weird stuff in there either. That's great, Cindy. And Barb said, Philip Morris, holy crap. Owned Kraft for almost 20 years. They taught each other evil paths to addiction. Oh, that makes so much sense. And Philip Morris is Philip Morris is the maker of the tobacco industry, of a bunch of cigarettes. And so amazing. Wow.
I did not know that.
Wow. That really makes sense. I think the salt, sugar, fat one is a much more important book to read for us on these meds. Magic Pill is good, but not as society-oriented useful as the other. Okay, that's good to know. So sugar, salt, fat. All right, I'll put it out there and see, and we'll see if there's another one. But that sounds good. I'll have Jeff buy it for me so we can show it between the two. Yay! Yep. I just love our group.
Oops, sorry.
Yeah. Cindy says it's just crazy what they give us. It really is. And they've been pulling.
How do those food scientists sleep at night?
Yeah. Gosh. That is crazy.
Is that it?
That's all the
responses
that I have at the moment. Okay. I promised Logan that I'd put on my Freestyle Libre, Logan. I also have a video of the very first time I put on the regular Libre and the other one. Oh, wait. And Cindy says, it's like having gut health foods. So important. Yep. And Jeff says, that is the major question in the book. Yeah. How do they sleep at night? Oh yeah, sourdough's is all the bread. Sourdough is supposed to be a better bread for you with a lower glycemic index than white bread. Um, so sourdough, everything. Cool.
I'm going to go to sleep now.
Okay, I out of the box, my Freestyle Libre 3, and I do have a video of the very first time I put on the Libre 3 and the very first time years ago that I put on my my original Freestyle Libre. Oh, yes. Barb, you can absolutely share something about you. Please do. Please, please do. While Barb is typing that about her, I'm going to put on my Libre 3 so I don't forget, because I did promise Logan, he asks about this a lot. So you open up the box. The only thing in the box is directions, the applicator, and they used to give you an alcohol swab, and now they don't. So I have to buy my own alcohol swabs. But you just clean a little spot on your arm. Untwist the cap. I'm giving you a chance to be typing, because I'm going to read what you type to tell us about you. And so once you take the cap off, here we go. All you do is push. Done. And can you see it? It's so little. There we go. And the Freestyle 2 and the Freestyle 3 both have low alarms when your sugar goes too low, and an alarm goes off if your sugar goes too high. And the only difference is the 3 is a little bit smaller, and the 3 continuously talks to my cell phone. And all I have to do, once I put that on, I've got a Libre 3 app right here, and I click the Libre 3 app button. And turning it on. Oh, there might be an issue because my phone updated. Okay. And apply the new sensor. And then I just have to scan it. So I put the back of my phone against my sensor. Should make a little noise. Here, usually I have my phone not all the way open. Try this again. Okay, here we go. Okay. And then in 60 minutes, it'll tell me what it'll be all good. So there is 60 minutes that I don't know when you first put it on what my sugar is. But then after that, it'll show me what my sugar was the whole time that it's on. And this will now just talk to my phone for 2 straight weeks. And if I leave my phone in the other room and it can't sense my sensor, it'll start making a beeping noise, which Jeff always says, it's like it's crying out, "Where are you? Where are you?" And then I just have to bring I just have to have my cell phone with me in the same room that I'm in. And then it constantly reads, and then I can click and it'll show me graphs even of what my blood sugar has been doing for the past 24 hours. It's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. Okay, good. So Barb, now that gave Barb some time to tell us a little something that about her, something about her this week. Let's see. She says, so I am 132 pounds, and I thought I was losing too much. Endo had stat labs done, and they are meticulous. I see her tomorrow to discuss stuff. Down to 12 and a half instead of 15 milligrams of Mounjaro. Oh, down to every other week on 12 and a half, because she is on maintenance. Barb has she's lost well over 250 pounds. And so now she's on maintenance. Wow. And I do have 2 patches of cancer that need to be removed. Gosh darn. Seeing surgeon on the 23rd to schedule surgery. It was going to be 1 patch in the dermatologist's office, but it's more extensive than I knew. Ugh. Oh yeah. Skin cancer is not fun. And oh yeah, we're gonna pray for you big time, Barb. And Barb says, I've had 3 cancer surgeries already, but am a tad nervous, trying to stay calm. I am healthier than ever. Yes, you are. So it should go well. Oh. So I'm now down, wow, 273 pounds. That is amazing, Barb. Wow. And Barb shared her story back when she was just down, I think, 255 pounds a few months ago. And she was my first ever guest on Anchor Moments. And she has a very inspiring story. She has come such a long way. Oh, Barb, I'm going to be praying for you that they take care of that cancer and that it doesn't come back. Gosh darn it. And that you heal quickly, that you heal quickly. And Cindy says, I believe God brought through all of this for a reason, and he has so many blessings for you. You blessed all of us. Yeah, that God brought Barb to us because she's just so awesome. And she's a huge blessing to me for sure. And so inspiring. Oh my gosh. And always has great advice. Like, what's the next good book to read? And more. Oh my gosh. And Barb says 12 and a half 1 week. Oh, 15 milligrams the next. Oh, I see. So you're not going 12 and a half and then you wait another 2 weeks and then do another 12 and a half, but going back and forth between 12 and a half and 15, because Barb was on 15 milligrams and for quite a while, and it just has worked so good for her. But yeah, we'll have to see if 12 and a half will work just fine too. So that way you can eat enough to maintain and stop losing. Because I mean, because you're at your ideal weight, you don't need to lose anymore. Thank you all for listening. Bless you all, absolutely. And we're all going to pray for you, Barb. We really are. Just like we prayed for Logan after Logan had his surgery. Gosh, 4 weeks, about a month ago. But you are very welcome, Barb. We love you bunches. Tomorrow is Mounjaro Monday. It'll be week number 53 for me, 1 year and 1 week. And Pam Gomez is supposed to be one of my guests. I'm hoping that she'll try again to email me. I've got to try to contact her because I've even checked in my trash folder, but I've not seen an email from her. But she was going to email me her contact information because if you are a guest, I have to send you a special link so that way we can bring you on camera from wherever it is that you live. And I'm pretty sure Pam lives in California and I'm here in Arizona. And our other friend named Pam says, Barb, having had at least 3 extensive skin cancer removals, 2+ visits to go deeper, I can tell you it's not bad. Sending positive thoughts for speedy recovery. Yeah, she's had it before, and it was a pretty big one. But so it was such a bummer that you have to do this two more places, Barb. Darn it. But I am glad, Pam, that you're doing okay and that you got yours done too. And thank you for encouraging Barb because we love her so much. Yeah. Deb does too. And Pam says, same as me. One of mine went down several inches. An incision was 10 inches by 5 inches. This is malignant melanoma stage 2. Yes, I'm glad you're taking care of yourself, Pam, and or I mean Barb, and well, Pam, you too. Going to your doctors and letting them take care of you guys. And Cindy says, I'm off to bed, guys. I love you all and wish you all an amazing week. I'm with Gina. I stayed up late as well. Yeah, I know. 2 nights in a row. Good grief. But yeah, I'm definitely going to bed earlier tonight. So that way I will be better for you guys tomorrow when I go live for Mounjaro Monday. And Barb, looks like Barb has one more. Oh, good. And Barb says, I'm headed out for a walk. Love to you all. Love you guys bunches too. Next week, chapter 15. We're getting closer to being done with this one. And according to Alan Carr, it's just going to keep getting better each chapter. So I'm going to read it to the very, very end. So next week, chapter 15. And then we'll be looking into what our next book will be. But the one that Barb mentioned sounds really good. Like it'd be a good second book. All right. Oh, into Costco. I love Costco. All right. Have a great week, everybody. And hope to see a bunch of you on my live tomorrow. Bye-bye.